Every night for the past 3 months, Arthur had been waking up at 3 a.m. like clockwork, gripping the side of his bed, leg rigid, muscles cramping so hard it felt like a vice had locked around his calf. He'd swing his legs off the mattress, hobble around the room, muttering through clenched teeth until the pain subsided. He was 74, fit, relatively healthy, and still walking 2 miles most mornings. But the leg cramps were relentless. His doctor called them nocturnal cramps, shrugged, and suggested hydration and stretching. Arthur tried both. He drank more water, added salt, cut back on caffeine. He did stretches before bed and walked longer in the mornings. Still, the cramps returned. Some nights they started in the calf, other nights in his feet. Once he had one so severe it left a bruise on his shin. He started keeping a journal, tracking when the cramps happened, what he'd eaten, how much water he'd had. That's when he noticed something. On nights he ate certain foods, the cramps were less severe or didn't happen at all. He dug into the research and found something fascinating. Circulation and nutrition were deeply connected. Blood flow, especially in the legs, relied on the health of arteries, veins, and the tiny capillaries in between. And there were specific foods, real, everyday foods, that helped open blood vessels, reduce inflammation, mask, and prevent the spasms that led to cramps. So Arthur made a list, the 10 foods that science and his own body said made a difference. 1. Beets. He had read about beets in a health magazine. Rich in nitrates, they helped widen blood vessels and improve oxygen delivery. Arthur started drinking beet juice 3 times a week. The earthy taste took getting used to, but the results were noticeable. His legs felt lighter on his walks, and the tightness that used to creep in by dinner was gone. 2. Spinach. Loaded with magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that helped relax muscles and support circulation, spinach became his daily staple. He tossed it into omelets, blended it into smoothies, even added it to his sandwiches. Within a week, the frequency of his nighttime cramps had already dropped. 3. Bananas. Simple and inexpensive, bananas were full of potassium and vitamin B6, which helped reduce muscle spasms. He ate one before bed most nights. Not only did it help with cramps, but it satisfied his evening sweet tooth without spiking his blood sugar. 4. Salmon. Arthur had always enjoyed fish, but now he ate wild-caught salmon twice a week without fail. Omega-3 fatty acids supported circulation and reduced inflammation in blood vessels. He grilled it with lemon and herbs, sometimes flaked it over spinach salads. His knees hurt less, and he noticed he recovered faster after his morning walks. 5. Pomegranates. He discovered pomegranate juice almost by accident. A neighbor brought him a bottle as a gift. Curious, Arthur poured a glass and found that it not only tasted good, but improved his stamina. Pomegranates were rich in antioxidants and nitrates, which boosted blood flow and muscle function. The days after drinking it, his legs didn't cramp. 6. Nuts, especially almonds and walnuts. Rich in magnesium, healthy fats, and vitamin E, these became his go-to snack. He kept a jar of mixed nuts on the kitchen counter. Just a handful a day helped keep his muscles calm, especially when paired with fruit or leafy greens. 7. Dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao. This one felt like a cheat, but it wasn't. Rich in flavonoids, dark chocolate helped relax blood vessels and improve circulation. Arthur allowed himself a square or two in the afternoon, enough to satisfy his cravings and benefit his health. He even slept better those nights. 8. Watermelon. Summer brought a surprise. Arthur had a few slices of watermelon one hot afternoon and realized the cramps didn't come that night. He found out watermelon contained an amino acid called L-citrulline, which helped increase nitric oxide production and blood flow. It was hydrating and sweet, perfect for evenings. 9. Garlic. He started adding crushed garlic to soups, roasted vegetables, and even salad dressings. Garlic helped reduce arterial stiffness and supported blood flow. It also had natural anti-inflammatory properties. After a few weeks, he noticed fewer tingling sensations in his feet when he sat too long. 10. Ginger. He used to think ginger was just for tea or nausea, but Arthur started grating fresh ginger into his meals after learning it could improve blood circulation and reduce inflammation. A small knob added to stir fries or tea helped keep his legs from cramping, especially on days he stood more than usual. Arthur called it his circulation kitchen. Nothing fancy. No exotic powders or expensive supplements. Just real food, colorful, nutrient dense, and easy to find at the local grocery store. Within 6 weeks, his 3 a.m. wake up calls stopped entirely. He kept waiting for the cramps to return, thinking maybe it was just a lucky streak. But they didn't. One night after a family barbecue, he noticed his calves tensed a little. He looked back at what he'd eaten: processed meat, white bread, and soda. No spinach, no beets, no bananas. The next day, he went back to his usual routine. The cramps didn't return. At his next doctor's appointment, Arthur shared his findings. The doctor was skeptical at first, then intrigued. "You've done what we try to do with medication," the doctor said. "Support vascular function, reduce muscle spasms, and without any side effects." Arthur grinned. "It's just food, but the right kind." He began sharing his list with friends at the community center. Some shrugged it off, but a few tried it. His neighbor Jerry started eating more spinach and beets and called him a week later to say, "You're a genius. I slept through the night." It became a quiet mission for Arthur. Not to lecture, but to help. He printed out his top 10 list, wrote short tips on how to prepare the foods, and left them by the bulletin board in the clubhouse. The best part wasn't just that the cramps were gone. It was that Arthur felt like himself again. More active, more rested, more in tune with his body. He didn't need to live with pain or accept it as part of getting older. All he had to do was fuel his body the right way, one bite at a time.